You're listening to the Mimosa Lounge with Bubu, a podcast where I talk to amazing people about their jobs, life, and all the good stuff. You're welcome to the Mimosa Lounge. Cheers! Welcome to another episode of the Mimosa Lounge with Bubu. On today's episode, we have a very special guest with me here. My lord, may I?
Yeah, my name is Funso. I'm a 26-year-old legal practitioner in Lagos. I work at a law firm in Lekki, and I mostly specialize in litigation, corporate commercial, and yeah, that's it.
Okay. What's the difference between being a lawyer and a legal practitioner?
Oh, well, it's the same thing. So in Nigeria, we have generally under law you have what you call the barristers and the solicitors. So barristers are people that basically go to court. Solicitors work on like corporate spheres and stuff like that. But in Nigeria, it's put together. So you'll become a barrister and a solicitor. So um, being a lawyer is the same thing as being a legal practitioner.
You just rather go with legal practitioner.
Yeah,
Why?
it sounds slick.
Nice. Okay, that's good. Okay, so why did you decide to study law? Why do you want to be a lawyer?
Well, I was an art student, and the best art course was law.
There was no passion.
Okay, all right. So no, it's all the normal thing now. Like, oh, you believe that you know how to argue. So, and I could classify myself as pretty smart while in secondary school. So, and watching a bit of like legal movies and stuff like that. So I felt like, okay, that's a part I want to explore, because the other options were probably like mass comm and history and international relations, but I didn't really see myself in that area. So I preferred to go through the other part.
So do you feel like you made a very good decision?
Well, it depends on when you ask me.
I'm asking now.
All right. So right now, based on the economy and the world in general, I would say, yeah, law is pretty important, especially like considering being in Nigeria, right? There are so many legal issues that come up every day. People are always having one problem or the other, and I will be available to help them like solve it, because if it comes to maybe an issue of representation, or maybe someone feels like, okay, they are not sure what steps to take, I'm always there to help them to like step in and give them possible outcomes and whatnot. So yeah, and although you could say that like in Nigeria the pay for lawyers isn't really great, but if you're good at what you do and you can like spread out a bit more and do like a bit more things, it's a pretty decent profession. Yeah, so I do not feel bad that I chose it. It's, in fact, I enjoy it every single day.
So you enjoy being a lawyer?
Yeah, I do. It's very tasking. It puts my body, my mind, and everything through it every day. But at the end of the day, whenever I get the results I want, it gives me that feeling of fulfillment, which basically makes sense. And like I said, the money is good as well.
So how do you deal with when you don't get the result that you want?
So it's about the mentality. All right. In law right now, especially when it comes to my practice area, which is litigation, you're basically going up against another person, which is very good. So you argue it out in courts. You guys could have like mini battles on hearings and whatnot, and then the final judgment could probably not go your way or not.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about like, okay, learning. If things don't go your way, you don't feel like you should lose, that you've lost. You should take it like as though you've learned something. Mm-hmm. That okay, this is how this is going to go. And then there are some times where you could also be a sole loser and be like, no, this is not it. So you appeal. That option is also available.
So when you appeal, is there like a chance that you win the case?
Of course, there's like
how many percent?
you can't really give a percentage to it. And if you want to give a percentage to it, it will be varying from one issue to another. So there are different levels of courts, like for higher courts, right? Most times matters are commenced maybe either from the magistrate court or the high court. So if you commence a matter from the magistrate court, you appeal to the high court. Um, you could also appeal to the from the high courts to the court of appeal, then to the Supreme Court. And there are some times whereby you could lose in the magistrate court, lose in the in the high court, lose at the court of appeal, but then you still win at the Supreme Court.
Really?
You get, yeah. And sometimes it's not even, you might not even have to win or lose. You could find a way to help the parties settle. That's also like part of what lawyers do as well. That's in aspects of litigation. And then there are some times when you could be on the end of transactions when it's not litigation. So you and the lawyer on the other side are working together to ensure that you get the best interest for your clients. So okay, they want to enter into a commercial transaction. Then each party has to have a responsibility. Maybe one person is paying the other person. So you have to like, okay, no, you have to pay my guy 70% upfront and this and that. And then the other person is like, no, it has to be 50% now, then 50% upon completion, whatnot. So you guys go back and forth, and sometimes it's never like a win or lose situation. It's just the best interest of your client. That's it.
That's it. Okay. So, what would you say is like the most fulfilling part of being a lawyer so far?
There's so many things.
Of being a legal practitioner.
Yeah. All right. So, what parts would I prefer? I think the respect that comes with it, actually. So maybe not recently, but like whenever a lawyer like walks into place and maybe if you like bring your lawyer to a particular meeting or something, there's just this feeling you give everybody in the room.
Yeah.
And
Like anyone
everybody's
that
like, yeah, exactly. So that feeling, and as long as you are also like putting yourself up as well, you know your stuff. Whenever you enter into a room and they're like, okay, this person is a lawyer, they're like, oh, okay. So everybody is always wanting to like listen to you. Like if you try and tell them, no, this is not, yeah, you should do it like this, people like somehow just take it as gospel.
I get that.
That's why like, you might not even know what you're saying. But as long as you've said it,
Yes. And they agree.
that's the truth. So yeah, that feeling is always so. And we lawyers amongst ourselves, we joke about it like, I might just be, people will just be asking random questions about things that we don't know, but we just have to
Just
like,
say something.
as long as you say it with enough confidence. And
Even if there's no confidence, as long as it's a lawyer that is saying
exactly,
it makes sense.
exactly, that's the point. So that's one of the most fulfilling parts.
Okay. So like I don't know if it's like maybe like a one side of the world thing, but I feel like if I had like a friend that was a lawyer, I would not let the person rest. Like, oh, someone annoyed me. Can you sue the person for me? Do you have like friends like that?
Yeah, definitely. So if I know most lawyers can attest to this. Whenever you've been called to the bar, people will just start telling you, okay, so I can go and look for trouble now.
Yeah, yes. Like you can fight for me.
Yeah. But people forget that a lot of times lawyers aren't trying to help you fight. They're trying to help you solve your problems. You get, so especially in this modern age, people are not looking for who is going to help them go to war. Like, you should be able to go to war for your clients if necessary. But if there's a way you can be able to mitigate the way your clients would lose in certain aspects, then I think that should be the option you would look into more. So, and speaking about friends being lawyer, everybody should know a lawyer. It's very important. Like at every single point, it might be that, yeah, maybe the lawyer you know is an entertainment lawyer now, but you have a criminal issue. If you speak with the entertainment lawyer, he will definitely know someone else, because the legal space is a very tight community. We fight with each other, but we network with each other. We work together. You get
What if like you actually just don't know anybody and you can't
that's
seem to
that's
find
terrible.
anybody?
That's terrible. If you want to go up, anybody that is at the top will tell you you have to know a lawyer.
Yeah, when you're at the top, that's like I mean it's the
Yeah,
most.
if you
But
want
like when you're not at the top yet, and I just don't know anyone
just
that's a
like
lawyer.
if you meet a lawyer, you could just like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Just collect. So randomly, a lot of times when I'm like, and in an Uber, I'm coming from court, I'm going to court, and someone finds out I'm a lawyer, they'll just be like, sorry, sir, can I may I like save your
Number.
number? And then they'll, sometimes I can just be walking on the road, maybe with my bib and stuff like that, and someone will be like, oh, you're a lawyer, please, can I just get your number? Like that. And you lawyers will always be willing, because as long as okay, they will hear what you have to say or not. Yeah. Sometimes in my law firm now, okay, so there's this thing we call in the legal space, call it pro bono, right?
Mhm.
So there are some times where we know we're not getting paid, but we have the
Just want to do it.
resources to cover this thing. We could just like take it on, right? So for my own law firm and some other major law firms, we take stuff up like that. You get, if we have the resources. So it's always important to know a lawyer, because you might just get tossed an employment contract. Maybe you just get a really nice paying job and whatnot. Maybe for someone like you now, you're probably a creative person, so you probably just
Like
get me
sponsorship or
yeah.
something.
So and you just want to jump on the contract because the pay is much, but then you don't know that there are some nitty gritties inside that okay, maybe your content will be yours, whatnot. They will own you for like a long time. But if you have a friend who's a lawyer who like, if they are trying to put you on the spot, you can quickly send it to him. He'll look at it and he'll be like, no, don't sign this stuff. Or okay, just tell them to adjust this and that.
Okay. So now that I know a lawyer, right? Let's just assume that like 1 week you're free. And I think there's like I'm not sure, but I think there's like a thing like in law, like it's on blue and black. I know that I might be wrong, but I still want to fight it.
Yes, definitely.
So like can I just like call you that, oh, someone slapped me or I slapped somebody, but then I want to sue the person.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to court and fight.
Yeah, so obviously there are different ways of fighting. I know a lot of people have watched Suits.
Yes, I actually watched it recently. That's how I know what problem
Exactly. So there's no one way.
Mhm.
There's always
Substitute
if
something
it
else.
was if it were that okay, everything is defined and there's no other interpretation, then there will not be any need for lawyers. You get so anyhow, if you beat somebody up, the person might have to pay you damages at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So should I go and beat somebody? As long as there's no proof, right?
There are so many things. So many things. You could kill someone and get away with it and different things, as long as like.
But how do you feel about that?
So it's not about how we feel. Every single person has a right to be heard, right? So you need to give somebody an opportunity, because at the end of the day, we are all humans. So even the worst of criminals, if Hitler had the chance to be tried, they would definitely have like heard his own side of the story, like okay, what's happening, and it's possible he might have even gone like a free man, and everybody praising him at the end of the day. I mean, look at O.J. Simpson and stuff like that. Different cases.
Okay. So what is like a typical day in the life of a lawyer in Lagos, Nigeria, with traffic and everything?
Traffic. That's where I'll start. Traffic.
So you start your day with traffic,
Yes.
or in traffic?
Exactly. So being a lawyer, my phone is always right beside me, because at any time somebody might need my attention. You get, it could be like around like 3 a.m. Someone would just call me and they'd be like,
You
this
got
happened,
saved.
this. Yeah. Or it could be something international as well. So lawyers don't stop. We don't stop. We just keep going. Morning, afternoon. There are some times where a lawyer will be very busy at night, but in the daytime he's free. You get. So we do have a time frame when okay, you resume work by 8, you close by like so time. Yeah, that is that. But lawyers work around the clock, because it doesn't stop. You get it just doesn't stop. So that's the typical thing for a lawyer. But as long as you enjoy it,
Yeah.
that's like you you could study law in uni and go to law school and everything, and you probably don't enjoy it. But the actual practice, you can't enjoy it. It's very interesting. You meet lawyers are the craziest set of people. Like they
Also,
are well, within us, we know ourselves like crazy set of people. As we've worked hard and we've bust our asses and everything. Come and see us on a Friday night. We turn. In fact, they have to like tell us, please stop, stop, stop. So
really.
yeah. So that's it's fun. It's um. What else? It's also important to mention that the money is also really good. If you know,
Of
if
course,
you know,
money is always important.
the money is very important. Whenever somebody is telling you their problems, you listen to the problems. Talk about the money.
First.
No, no, not
After the
first.
problem.
You have to listen to the problem now.
Okay. So can I crack like a law joke?
No.
My lord. Shall we?
Nah, I don't think they're having a lot of jobs.
Like an inside joke. Don't be like lawyers understand.
Lawyers. No, not at the moment. But
But if,
within
if you think of
ourselves.
one, just
Yeah, definitely.
I promise to laugh.
Yeah.
How did you feel like when you were called back?
Oh, okay.
And also, did your mom like make like special jollof for you or something like that? Like, oh, my son is not a barrister.
Oh, okay. So how did I feel? Okay, so for Nigerians, for the Nigerian bar, right, there's this moment where we like, so we have wig and gowns and whatnot. So during the entire ceremony, we had to put our wigs beside us. So the people like in charge and whatnot would speak during the ceremonies and whatnot, and then there's a part where we now have to stand, and then there's a thing they will say, you may now don your wigs. So as that moment where you put on your wig, that's when you officially become a barrister. Moments like that, you won't really know how you feel until you get to that moment. Like for me now, I just thought maybe it was going to be something like as soon as I wore it. But as soon as I wore it, and I realized that, oh my God, this thing I've been chasing for years, I finally gotten it. So it was quite like emotional for me.
Did you cry?
A little bit, I shed tears, but
Aww.
that was because so that would lead me to your second question. So yeah, my mom is late, right? So, but while I was in uni, she was always like helping. She, if anytime I fall sick, she'll come back, always whining me like, the Lord, mother, the Lord. So that moment to where I became a lawyer, I was like, I hope she's proud. You get. But then my stepmom is also there, and she was so supportive. Like I was telling her that I didn't want to throw any parties or whatnot. She did not agree.
So you had a party.
It wasn't like a party because I still ended up not inviting anybody. But then they had like a gathering outside and people eating and whatnot. So it was
law.
fun. Yeah. Because and I have never seen my dad so proud. He's always so happy, especially when he sees me.
Does it cause trouble knowing that he has a son that is a lawyer?
That's the funniest thing. He doesn't really engage me in like when it comes to law and stuff. So he has his own lawyers and whatnot. You get and everything. But whenever he sees me with like a wig, in fact, I think there's a day he was in court for something for like his company, and then he saw me in court, and he was just like,
my son.
That's what he said. And I had to run away because this man don't do me like that in public. No. Yeah, because among my peers now, and someone now make you that's that. No, please don't do that. Yeah, so I just like moved away, like, okay, I see you. But yeah, so just it was nice. And then family members, always everybody's trying to reach out, like trying to keep in contact because like I said, it's always important to keep like a lawyer around. Yeah. But that moment it's a very long journey. It's a very tough journey. You first of all have to have good grades in secondary school, first of all. Then you now have to like go through the scrutiny of if you pick a university, right? You now have to like try and beat the other people that want to get in, because some people also have long legs too. We all know what long legs is, so to get into the uni, and then staying in that particular. So for law now, most universities have like a minimum CGPA that you have to maintain in order to be there, and then by the time you're done as well, law school assigns slots to different universities, so they could graduate like 250 people in a class, but they're like 150 slots. So there's a battle, and it's possible that people from the previous slot have already even taken maybe like 50 of those slots. So there's also a battle to get into those slots as well. Then you get into that, you go to the law school. The law school is a different thing entirely as well. But when you do all that and then you finally become a lawyer, it's exactly, the pride comes automatically. Like whenever I always wonder how are lawyers this, but as soon as you become one, it just comes.
It's over. It's over for them.
It's over.
Okay, so what would you say like to like someone that is like finding it hard to, you know, be motivated in school? Because I mean it's like a lot of time. Like the uni, 5 years, right? Law school, like it's a long process. How would you say that
so
someone like that should keep going?
A lot of people, like when I was in uni, some of them probably had family members that were lawyers, or something like that. For me, I didn't have anyone. Basically, I'm like the first, right? But the thing is, law students, lawyers, they're all people too. We're all people. You get, so just take it one day at a time. First year in uni, you probably borrow some courses from other people. Then you do one law course that is just like the base thing. Then take it one course at a time. Speak with your lecturers. Be close with your people. Like, you cannot do it alone when it comes to law. You have to do it with like a team, because the standards are different. As a lawyer, you can't afford to fail because you're dealing with people's lives. People could die. Nations could fall, nations could rise based on what you do. You get, so it's no joke. You have to do whatever, because there are some times when, as a lawyer, you probably just one letter you want to draft, right? I would just want to send it to somebody, but that letter could probably like cause a massive ripple effect. You get, and each lawyer now we have a seal, right? So once you place that seal on, it helps like a lot of documents, depending on what kind of document it is. Whether it's a law, a letter, or maybe a contract or whatnot. You get. So there's so much importance placed in what we do. Just take it a day at a time. There are so many perks that comes with it. So many responsibilities you have to take on, but it's at the end of the day it's fulfilling. But you shouldn't go into it with the motivation that lawyers make money, or lawyers get the finest girls, or lawyers drive the biggest cars. Nah, just if you want to go into law, you have to go into it for yourself. Like, do I enjoy this thing? You get. That's it, because if you don't enjoy it, you won't make the money. You won't get it. The cars, you won't get it. You have to enjoy it. You have to be able to go through it, body, soul, spirit, everything. Yeah.
So you would say that law is as difficult as it seems?
Yeah.
Or as we are told?
Everything you hear about law is true. Everything you hear about it. Lawyers are liars, whatnot. Although that's
oh yeah, that's true. Let's talk about that. So do you lie a lot?
Everybody lies.
But like being a lawyer, do you lie more?
No. So are
you trying to lie?
No. So in most times, I think for most unis, it's in final year. We take a course called jurisprudence. It's basically talking about different theories and whatnot. So it's not like lawyers lie, right? It's just about the philosophy. Like, what would you consider to be a lie? What would you consider to be the truth? It varies from one person to another. You get. it is possible that someone did do something, but there are different things that are involved. What if what he did was to save a nation? Yeah, maybe a few people died, but the person did this.
He did something. What did he not do?
Exactly. Like, so different things can come into place, you get. So it's not like I won't agree with the statement that lawyers are liars. We don't lie. We just
But sometimes you can lie.
everybody lies. If
But
that
sometimes you can lie.
no, I won't
So you never lied in court.
lied.
But is it wrong to lie in court? Like, or it's okay?
If you're under oath, you can't lie. It's called perjury, right? If you are placed under oath and you lie.
But let's say like you're arguing a case and you just chip in a very small lie.
So you in being a lawyer, you can't just make certain statements. If you make certain statements and it probably turns out later not to be true, right? Your integrity will be put under like serious scrutiny. In fact, we have something called the disciplinary committee, right? That takes things very seriously when it comes to lawyers and like their discipline in the profession. So you can't just stand up and start lying. You get it would affect you all around, within the legal space, outside the legal space. So instead of lying, you could tell the other person to prove the truth. If they can't, it's not about what you know, it's about what you can prove. You get. So if the other person can't prove to you that this is the truth,
Then there's no truth.
Then well, you can make the truth whatever you want it to be.
That makes sense. It was nice having you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
I enjoyed being here too.
Oh, we enjoyed having you too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And on this note, we rest our case. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Mimosa Lounge with Bubu. I hope that you tune in next time. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. See you next time. Bye.